In today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at these current conditions, and we're also going to dive into the upcoming pattern where I have some disappointing news for us cold and snow lovers. Kind of disappointing. We really just don't know the timing at all on these things. These models, obviously, in the long range, tend to get things wrong, and this is why I've always said take things with a grain of salt, because this is what happens sometimes. Now, we'll get into that in a little bit, so stay tuned for that part, because it is important. We're going to be taking a look at these current conditions. We have some spots of storminess along the west coast. And as you take a look here at the kind of plains and the Rockies as well, we have portions of snowfall. No real consistent areas of snowfall. It's just like big blobs of showery activity. And it's the same thing happening in the eastern United States, except this is actually more thunderstorms and showers happening. And then underneath here for Texas as well, we see some of these passing showers also happening. So there is a whole lot to unpack here. So this is going to take quite a bit here just to go through all this. We do see there is some lighter showers, both in the form of rainfall and snowfall up there for the state of Washington. As we work our way down towards San Francisco Bay area, we do have a low right offshore, and this is creating some rotation just like this of some showers. Light to moderate, even heavy in some spots, so definitely some activity happening in there. Worth mentioning. We do see, as we work our way towards the southern Rockies, we do see some snowfall mostly in some very low elevations. We do see rainfall with this as well, but an area of snowfall. Let's see. As we work our way up towards Montana, we do see some snow showers around for the state of Montana as well, mostly light to moderate in here. Let's just go ahead and work our way southward now. And we can see that there is some showers taking place in Texas, like we mentioned, mostly for these areas. And here, maybe some thunderstorms as well. It's hard to say, but definitely some light to moderate showers happening in there. Then as we work our way up towards Minnesota, down through Iowa, the Dakotas, Nebraska, Wisconsin, we do see some snowfall happening in here, light to moderate, even heavy in here as well. Certainly interesting to say the least. And then as we take a look at the eastern United States as a whole, we can see that there is some low pressure systems over here out west a little bit. And this is all forcing just showery and stormy activity up the eastern United States. So we can see there's light to moderate showers happening here for the mid-Atlantic up through the northeast. And even down here through the southeast and deeper south, we also see some light to moderate, even heavy showers down here, potentially thunderstorms across some of these states like Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Mississippi, actually. So we see a lot of these different states seeing these more moderate to heavy spots in there as well. Certainly worth mentioning. A rainy morning for a lot of these areas. Now what we're going to do is move on and take a look at the modeled guidance. And we're just going to take a look at the upcoming pattern as a whole. Storminess, total precipitation, snowfall, and even the temperature pattern. Now here is some of that upcoming storminess as we're just taking a look here at the modeled guidance, and we do see that snowfall up northwest up for these areas, a lot of the storminess down here for the southeast, and as time kind of just presses on, we can see that by tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be Wednesday the 7th, we see that there is a lot of storminess moving through these different regions here, kind of snaking through like that. We see some showery activity across the Rockies still and even the upper Midwest, but really the main activity is this flow of storminess right here that we can see, and this is going to be, again, in the form of showers and thunderstorms mostly, depending on your spot and where you're at, really. Thursday here, we get a bit of a storm system across the middle of the country, mostly snowfall here for the upper Midwest and Great Plains, and then we see a lot of rainfall here down south. Throughout a lot of the deeper south and even the Ohio Valley as well. We have another storm system moving on to the northwest, also worth mentioning. By Friday, Saturday timeframe, we do see the snowfall is expanding out in the northwest. We do see a snow system developing out here, definitely hitting a bit later, and we do see it's a little bit more minor, but Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland, potential for snowfall is there. By the time we're reaching Saturday night, we can see that this storm out west is really expanding now to where we're seeing the Sierra Nevadas, the Cascades, the Northern Rockies, all seeing snowfall at this point. Now, as we work our way down to the deeper south central United States, we can see for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Louisiana, and Mississippi here, we're seeing plenty of this rainfall. As we work our way on, we can see that by Monday afternoon, we see a very strong storm system across the central United States. 987 millibar low pressure center there in eastern Colorado. and this is just creating a massive Rocky Mountain and Northern Plains snowstorm here. Definitely the potential for a blizzard is there if this does take place, and also this area underneath here, definitely the potential for severe weather. And here, as we're going to see a northern flow, just like this, and a swinging cold front potentially underneath. So that could lead towards some severe weather, especially by points like this, where we see this warmer air spreading in, and certainly you're seeing a cold front like this. That could create definitely big severe weather events mid next week. So Monday through Wednesday, the 12th through the 14th time frame approximately. We do see more of a major upper Midwest snowstorm with this as well, potentially the Great Lakes as well. And here, very, very heavy snowfall. And we do get this back end New England snowstorm, northeast snowstorm for the most part, by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame. And then the model run comes to an end, so we don't really know what comes of this after this point. But we do notice that there's never any major troughs in the eastern United States as of last night's European model run. So this, again, we need to take with a grain of salt, but certainly something to pay attention to. Now, the total precipitation through the next 10 days looks about like this. Anywhere in the whites, practically no precipitation. Your grays, 1/10 of an inch or less. Your greens, 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Your blues, 1/2 an inch to an inch. Your yellows, 1 inch to 2 inches. Reds, 2 to 5 inches there. And then your browns, 5 to 10 inches of precipitation. So we can tell that the most of this precipitation is happening in areas like this right here, and then areas up here also. And the interesting thing is most of this area here in the upper Midwest, or better yet, the northwestern United States, Pacific Northwest here, is that will mostly be snowfall there for the mountainous regions, which is extreme to say the least. Now, the total or better yet, total snowfall through the next 10 days looks very, very intense here. Anywhere in the grays, a dusting, if anything. Blues, 2 to 6 inches of snowfall. Purple, 6 to 10. Pinks, 10 to 20 there. Your pastel blues are going to be 20 to even 35 inches of snowfall. And then your pastel pinks within those pastel blues will be 35 to 48 inches plus. And I can tell you right now, looking at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there's a maximum of 120 inches somewhere in here, probably the Sierra Nevadas right here. Certainly a very extreme amount of snowfall, to say the least. Now, the temperature pattern, again, this is where kind of it gets a little bit disappointing. We never really see that deep cold. We see this huge southeast ridge, just like this, bringing very warm temperatures into the eastern United States, and the cold just likes to stay out here, just like that. We continue on, and we just see that warm air just hanging out. We do get some intrusions of cold air here, a little bit down the east coast, but it's nothing major, and really all the major cold air is staying out west according to this model run, which again, we're taking with a grain of salt. It is still very far out, but this is by Wednesday the 14th, and we're still just seeing this deep Arctic air sitting out west with that negative PNA, which is forcing the warm air around and up into a lot of the eastern half of the nation. And this is a pattern we've been stuck in for quite a while. We start to maybe get some signs that some cold air is moving in, especially through the south. But again, still the true Arctic air is out west at this point. Now, we're taking this with a grain of salt, but we are paying attention to it and considering it just as we considered the cold air that the models were showing. We're considering this. Now, things can change. Obviously, they can change already by this afternoon's model run, but it is a little bit concerning to see these models continuing to trend away from the cold, run after run after run. Completely unexpected, and really nothing we can even do about it when the model guidance decides to just back off of a very solid feature that confidence was very, very high in, regardless of who you ask. Very, very interesting stuff. And I mean, it keeps you on your toes. It is what I love about weather, and I wouldn't change it for the world, really. Anyway, guys, be sure to subscribe as we do upload every single day, and we will get to the bottom of this. Cold will be on the way eventually, as it is wintertime, but only time will tell when that will be, and obviously we will be one of the first to get on board with that and show you guys when that cold air will be hitting, as always. You can even hit that bell icon for daily notifications when we do upload. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.